Welcome back, Croeso nôl, TrashFam. Here is part 2 of the How to Damascus videos that I promised you. So this is going to be the in-depth one where we focus on specific and hard challenges that people normally ask me about. My advice, if you're maxing the guns in particular, is to go for UAV, Shock RC, and counter if you don't think you're going to be going on 2 mad streaks. Whereas if you reckon you're pretty confident, then I would equip EMP systems instead of the Shock RC. So the UAV and counter UAV both help leveling up the guns, so the assists that you get whilst they're active also count towards your gun being leveled up. So they're always useful, and they don't take kills away from your guns. You don't want to be using like hunter killer drone, shield turret, pred, sentry gun. All of those kills that those things get won't be counted towards your gun at all. So counter and UAV, best ones down there, and you can turn them over quite quick. And then I quite like, for headshots, the Shock RC is pretty useful because it gives you a free headshot basically while they stand still. Other than that, I either use a SAM turret or an EMP system because persistence VTOLs are a pain. You are going to learn to hate VTOLs, except for when you're trying to do FMJ challenges and then no one will use them at all. But we'll come on to that later. So that's what I'm going to run with, UAV, counter, and EMP. But if you prefer a SAM turret or a Shock RC, both of those can work as well. So the loadout, I set myself a challenge one, transform shield, maybe get a bit of head glitching done. I would say vulture is pretty much mandatory. If you get on any kind of streaks, you're going to come up against bot lobbies and you're going to be going for a nuke. So you definitely want to be having a look at vulture, because if you run out of bullets and you have to switch guns, all of a sudden you're not grinding the gun you thought you were. It might not be set up right. So you want to make sure you're using the same gun for the whole time. Perk 3 is basically useless now. Maybe just go launcher plus. Gives you an extra launcher one, and we'll come on to why that might be useful. Tactician you could get away with as well, because that would give you more flashbangs while they can cast. They're standing still. But I think flak jacket for me, because random nades, molotovs, thermites, they're being thrown everywhere. Either concussion or an EMP is quite useful for sentry guns. Maybe the molotov, just because you can cut off some lines of sight, so if people are really sweating against you, you can at least cut off one of the angles. That's me loadout. Let's move on to the gun setup itself. So for some reason the original footage was corrupted, so I can't actually show you the live stream where I actually got the SKS and FR gold, which was the whole idea of this video, was to show you how I did it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a few quick screenshots showing how those matches went, and then I'm going to recreate it now that I've already got Damascus, and I'll show you the techniques and tricks that I was demonstrating on the live stream. So let's start with snipers. And the first sniper I'm going to talk about is one that you don't actually have to do for Damascus, but if you want to get gold or diamond on it, it is worth knowing that the long shots for the NA45 are broken. Long shots, I believe it's the splinter one, and I went through a few matches. I was like, why is it not counting? Finally bothered to look it up. The problem with the NA45 is long shots are bugged, so if you get an explosive kill at long range, it does not count. Every long shot you hit has to be a headshot. So basically ignore the headshot challenge for this one, because once you've got the long shots, you'll have had to have got all the headshots as well, because they all count. And again, potentially weirdly, I'm actually not going to use a snipper rifle to show you about how to get Damascus on a sniper, because I've already got them all gold, even the ones you don't need to get. However, I did just unlock What a Grind, the SKS. 5 Annihilator kills. Took me 3 hours to find a loot crate with an Annihilator in it. Mental. Like I said, ideally you want to max the gun first. I can't quite max it, but there's 30 levels with that. So what I'm also going to do is pop on from my inventory. Next 10 matches. I would double up, but I'm not going to be able to play for 2 hours, so I will save that one for another time. And I'm pretty much maxed out anyway, so it should work out. It doesn't matter how unreal... Too long to count. So I always recommend crossfire, and one of the first things to know is where the bots go. So that right there was a bot because of the path that he took. All of the bots will come straight through there. If you're unlucky enough to start on the other side, they will all come through there, or walk straight out into mid. Don't need to worry about the OBJ. If you've got good sides, then just keep it. You don't need to play OBJ if they're ending the match way too quick, which it doesn't look like they're going to do on this one. That is the nice thing about the SKS, if you get a headshot, it's a one-shot kill.
Hardpoint locked down.
Little nukey nuke.
Friendly nuke has been launched. Hardpoint identified.
So as you can see, the reason I'm choosing crossfire is because you don't have to manufacture those long shot kills. Pretty much everything you do is just going to be a long shot anyway. So let's take a look at launchers. We're going to treat these slightly differently because, as I said in the previous video, you can combine these with your other weapons. Let's take a look at how we combine them. My recommendation with launchers is just start the round, and you don't need every kill to be with the gun. If you're unlocking something with Damascus, it's all helping. You don't want to end up in a position where you've got to grind the launchers. So the more you can do sort of by accident, the better. So I always just quickly start a round like that.
Tied for the lead.
And then... see, if he hadn't had Flak Jacket, I would have had a double kill there. And that would have been one more double kill that I don't have to grind later.
Hardpoint is ours.
Lined up.
Hardpoint identified.
Got one, and every now and again you'll get a lucky double.
Hardpoint locked down.
So, second piece of advice with launchers is to have an FHJ on all of your classes that you use in ranked. Or if you don't do ranked, at least on your other classes. Because, in particular in ranked, there will be a lot of score streaks, but often in shipment people can't help but press the stealth chopper, Goliath, Beetle. So having another loadout you can switch to means you can get the kills with the SMRS at the beginning of each round. Just check the odd random one.
Hardpoint identified.
Hit marker again. And then if a score streak gets popped, then
Hardpoint lost.
At that point you can whip out your other class, kill yourself with a molly if you have to, and get your shots out, get your chance to shoot down the score streaks. Beetles in a pub match. And then switch to your launcher class.
Killer drone deployed.
See if you can get a shot away before they blow you to smithereens.
UAV online.
And you just need one more.
Hostiles have the hardpoint. Hardpoint locked down.
Now let's take a look at melee weapons. I've already said which of them you don't need to do, but now let's take a look at the challenges most people ask me about. And that's triple kills and crouch shots.
For the crouch shots, you need to go into settings, basic, and you turn on hold crouch while sprinting. So with that set in, because I'm not sliding, I can just run, crouch, and I'm getting the kill. Run, crouch, nice. Run, crouch, nice. The slide option does help you when you're trying to get the rest of the kills. So that would be my advice on how to get the crouch shots. Switch the setting back off again. And then maybe I can get some nice streaks going. And then the other thing that some people struggle with is the double and triple kills. You could be there on a 15 kill streak thinking, oh, I'm getting these 3 kills in a row without dying thing on just once. So make sure you take a Molotov with you when you're grinding the knife and kill yourself after a triple kill, double kill.
Enemy contact.
2. We've been through the tap setting, but for most of your knife kills you want to have it set to slide, because sliding is the way that you'll get most of those knife kills. 1, 2, 3, and then make sure you kill yourself with a Molotov. That's uno, dos, tres, and then blow yourself up with a molly.
Hardpoint lost.
1, 2, 3.
Hardpoint contested. Hardpoint lost. Bring it up, squad.
And you can thank
Heads up, team. Enemy UAV.
Sick Boy for the knife advice.
Hardpoint
It's watching him in S&D back when Dead Silence was a thing that has
Hostiles have the hardpoint.
really taught me about the power of sliding people with a knife.
It's ours.
It's all about movement. The link for Sick Boy's channel is in the description, by the way, if you want to watch some sick knife aces.
Next up, let's talk about the specific challenge of long shots.
The first type of long shots I'm going to talk about are going to be shotguns. Now, they're not known for their long shot capabilities, but luckily you don't need to do 100 odd like you do with other guns. You only need
Hardpoint identified.
30 in total.
It's too close. Fight harder. We've taken
Long
the
shot.
lead. Online. Friendly shock RC is ready. Friendly stealth chopper inbound.
Because it just so happens
Hunter-killer drone
that the corners of shipment
friendly predator
are a perfect long shot.
deployed. Sentry gun ready for deployment.
As you can see, all of these are counting.
Predator missile.
One of the hardest things is when you get someone one shot, your teammates will invariably
Killer drone deployed.
steal
Hardpoint identified.
your kill, like that. So, if you get some trigger happy teammates like that,
Friendly predator missile inbound.
oh, now he's got a VTOL out. To try and wait until someone gets them weak, and then try and finish them,
Friendly hunter-killer drone
as they
deployed.
say in Mortal Kombat.
Stealth chopper inbound.
Target down.
Predator missile
Just like that.
inbound.
Try and finish them off when your teammates done most of the damage. Payback for all those stolen kills. So I'd recommend doing it that way rather than doing it on something like Rust, because you get more opportunities. So although it might be easier to know that it's going to be a long shot, when you're on top of Rust, it takes you so long to run up there that you're just going to overall miss out. And we can prove it. 41 kills. How many of those were shotgun long shots? 16. So nearly half of those kills were long shots. Now, with 16 long shots, you only need to do one more game. And that's long shots done for shotguns. So when you're doing the long shot kills with an assault rifle or an SMG or an LMG, anything but a sniper basically, you want to use slightly different tips to what I gave you in the sniper introduction to Crossfire.
Tied
So
for the lead.
here,
Target down.
as you can see behind my minimap, that does count as a long shot.
Taking that.
But, so I don't need to peek, because if I peek that,
Hardpoint locked down.
I'm now going up against snipers, which can work, but it's definitely not as consistent.
Hardpoint
So if you're standing right out in the open like you would be with a sniper,
Taking the lead.
you're going to get sniped. My advice is you're not going to win those fights and you're still going for long shots, so stay away from them. Take this angle.
Got shot!
That's still a long shot for an assault rifle.
Headshot!
I'm not giving the sniper an angle, making him come to me. Now when you're on this end, like I said before, you just still don't want to give the sniper a shot. So standing over here where you be with a sniper, you're going to get sniped. So the ARs and snipers can live in peace. What you need to do is make your way over to this side. You're a harder target to snipe over here. They're less likely to have an angle on you.
Sniper, get down! Down!
And I know there's a guy in that window over there, but honestly, the number of times that happens is rare. They're much more likely to be coming from this angle, be in that window, or be in that window. So, keeping this angle, you're able to get them unless they're really good quick scopers as they come around that corner.
And finally, the big one, we're talking about headshots.
I've died a lot in this game, but I'm still going to end up with about 40-50 kills. And you know, in a game where the other team plays OBJ a little bit more, you know, you could be looking at 60-70 kills easy. Which you're not getting on other maps purely because of how much you have to run.
Objective almost complete. Keep it up.
Boom! Headshot!
Amazing how much difference one attachment can make.
Boom! Headshot!
So although these tips for headshots will seem the most basic, because headshots
Headshot!
is the most important one and the thing that most people struggle with, they will have the most impact on your ability to get Damascus and get it fast.
Boom! Headshot!
Dude, stop following me around. Killing people I've made weak. Friendly VTOL inbound.
Headshot!
VTOL inbound. Predator missile inbound. Friendly killer drone deployed.
Boom! Headshot!
Friendly stealth chopper inbound.
Changing mag!
Predator missile inbound.
Headshot! Boom! Headshot!
As you can see from this screenshot and the last few clips, I had the worst teammates you could hope to never see. They managed to get VTOLs, they were playing OBJ against bots, what are they trying to prove? They got stealth choppers, preds, all sorts. Despite that, I still got 42 headshots out of my 52 kills, showing that shipment is definitely still the way to grind. And not only is 42 the answer to life, the universe and everything, but it's also an 80% headshot rate, showing that it's all about the gunsmith. So here's that mammoth build that got me the headshots for the FR. There's going to be a resource on my Discord with all my long shot and headshot builds. I've had a lot of feedback from people saying, only use ADS bullet spread attachments, only use vertical recoil attachments. The truth is, it depends on the gun. DRH, I'm definitely only using ADS bullet spread. On the MSMC, I'd focus on vertical recoil. On the KM44, I would focus on horizontal recoil, and so on. So all the builds on my Discord are tried and tested with each gun's weaknesses in mind. At the very least, a good place to start. In terms of the red dot, a lot of people say you don't need it, and whilst I'd never use it in ranked or on a real build for a gun, no matter how good you are, the red dot's always going to make your accuracy slightly better, and it should finish the headshot challenges just that few games earlier. Happy grinding. Well, thank you very much for watching the 2-part Damascus series. I really hope this has helped you to get Damascus quicker. If it has, please let me know down in the comments. I'd really like to hear your feedback. If you want to have a chat or ask any more questions, feel free to join the Discord. Link is in the description. But for now, I've been Trashman from a TrashClan. Ta-ra, Tantok.